The title is a bit dramatic. It is more complicated than that sounds. So I, 20F, have lived with my friend Dan, 20 meters, since the start of this year. We have been friends since university started 3 years ago. Before living together, we spoke about noise at night and how Dan did not appreciate how his old roommate used to make noodles at 2 AM before his lectures, and I of course said that I would have no issues with not doing that. Since moving in together, Dan has had issues with me not being quiet when brushing my teeth at 2 AM. So I started tiptoeing and quietly opening and closing the bathroom door. We have a third roommate, 21F, who is also friends with both of us. None of this is a problem for her as she is a deep-ish sleeper. My only issue is that recently, Dan has been saying that he does not want me to leave my room for any reason at all after midnight. He has stated that due to his very much legitimate childhood trauma he does not get woken up by the loud noises outside. We live in the city, but will get woken up by my very quiet footsteps. I have been trying my absolute best to brush my teeth earlier and not have any reason to leave my room after midnight, despite my usual bedtime being 2 AM. I would of course change my bedtime or just remember to brush my teeth earlier, and often do, but it is extremely difficult for me due to my recently diagnosed, yet to be medicated, ADHD. The ADHD means that I often don't remember to brush my teeth earlier, and I can't go to bed earlier as I can't study without the pressure of it being late at night. I have suggested many times that he uses a white noise machine, earplugs, or sees a doctor. He hasn't looked into if a white noise machine would work, does not want to be using earplugs every night because he doesn't want to rely on them, and he claims that because it is due to trauma he needs to see a therapist instead of a doctor, but has not put the effort into seeing a therapist. For more context, also due to his childhood trauma, my friend has been improving, but is generally not great at roommate things, i.e. doing dishes, cleaning things. I of course understand how this stuff can be hard because of my ADHD, but it feels more difficult for me to try really hard to change my routines around if he can't do things like take the bins out. Dan has also recently been in the living room at 1 AM, has an insight, and has a similar bedtime to me, except when he has to wake up at 7 AM for work. Dan, if you're seeing this, hey, what's up? I want to know if random internet people have any ideas what we can do. TLDR, I don't know how to compromise with my roommate slash friend who can't deal with me brushing my teeth after midnight when there isn't really any way for me to never go outside my room at night, mostly because of my ADHD. He has some pretty unreasonable demands for his roommates, yet is not willing to take any steps on his own side. My suggestion is that Dan finds an apartment of his own. Him and his parents own the apartment, but I get your point. Thank you. It sounds like Dan is way more interested in controlling you and not doing chores than in dealing with his trauma. Why not? Making you accommodate him and solve his problems sounds fun and easy, and it only takes complete disregard of you as a person 100% when for Dan he has no reason to want to change. Dan should give you the insight, since he doesn't want you out of your room. I think it's great you are trying to accommodate your friend and being understanding, but this is too much. If he cannot live alone, he needs to find ways to cope with his issues himself. White noise is the simplest solution. It's weird he's never tried it over the years. Even just a fan or air purifier can work. But you can't be held hostage in your room at night. This seems like the most reasonable answer outside of Dan seeing a therapist slash trying to deal with the noise of having roommates. Op can't be expected to agree to having zero bathroom access after midnight each night, but seems willing to avoid shared living spaces outside of the bathroom issue. Tell him that his childhood issues aren't your problem to literally tiptoe around. It's your home too. You can open your door, brush your teeth, walk around whenever the hell you want. If it's a problem for him, he can be an adult and get the help he needs. Do something to block out slash drown out noise, or get over it. Also, my childhood trauma means I can't do the dishes sounds like an awfully convenient excuse. My advice is to stop babying this grown man. Do your dishes and stop whining about people brushing their teeth at night. Dan. Sounds like his trauma was his parents would do everything for him and tiptoe around his tantrums. Now he expects housemates to do the same. Dan, if you're seeing this, hey, what's up? I want to know if random internet people have any ideas what we can do. I have a suggestion. Find somewhere else to live. Dan is transferring the emotional burden of dealing with his trauma to you, expecting you to conform to his needs regardless of your own. He has no interest in healing himself and clearly has a thing about telling you what to do. YouTube has 10-hour white noise and rain sounds to play. If you pick a live one, there's no ads. He could try that to test out the white noise thing. I'll listen to tracks on Spotify, or there are so many cheap apps out there. My favorite is called Sleepy Time. I think it was like $2, and it lets you customize the mix of sounds you want and set a timer. Sounds like he needs to move back home. He is not fit to live with others. It's his job to deal with his trauma, and if he can't, he can only limit his life, not others. Dan, I'm sorry about your trauma, but it's not feasible to expect others to limit their lives. You have options and you can use or not use them as you see fit. I'm in the meantime going to be as considerate as I can while moving around after midnight as I would gore anyone but gets it. He doesn't want to do the work. That's his choice and that's all the choice he has. To do or not do. Don't make suggestions or engage in why he can't and you should. All of that is his journey. Dan needs to get a grip. He lives with roommates. Roommates make noises at inconvenient times. This is part of the package. If he doesn't like house sharing, then it's time for him to get his own place. If he wants the cheaper rent of house sharing, then he takes the sacrifices it comes with. Sorry, what does he want you to do? Have a bucket in your room? Presumably you're paying rent, which means you're paying for the use of the facilities, bathroom, kitchen, etc. He's being unreasonable. You're trying to accommodate him, but this is extreme. I'd suggest finding somewhere else to live if you want to maintain this friendship. That's if he hasn't tainted it already. Don't put yourself on fire to keep someone warm. His issues are his, not yours. You are not cooking at 2 AM. You are brushing your teeth. Can you in your own bathroom at night? What if you have emergency pee at 3 AM? Is he gonna get mad because you needed to pee after midnight? If he can't live with other people, it's not your problem but his problem. Not cooking or making crazy noise at 2 AM is basic respect. Asking someone to not leave their room after midnight is controlling and abusive. Maybe he has some PTSD and trauma from his childhood, but it's not a reason to give you PTSD or trauma. You have compromised enough for him. He don't want to put earplug, but ask you to compromise. BULLSH***. He needs a therapist ASAP, because he's making your life a nightmare. You've been kind enough for him. He's just being an asshole at this point. The compromise you need to make is to stop compromising. Just be decent and respectful. Live your life in your apartment the way you want it, while being generally respectful. Don't start cooking at 2 AM, but brush your teeth at whatever hour you want. His trauma is his problem, not yours. I have childhood trauma too, the kind you don't even want to know about. I don't expect the world to accommodate me, and nor should anyone like me. Anyway, he's not going to change. He sounds like a professional victim. Find a new roommate, or continue to live with the crazy. Okay, straight off the bat, dictating when you are allowed to leave your room, even if it's 2 AM, is completely unreasonable. If you want a solution that still accommodates his unreasonable demands, would he be open to changing rooms? I can see in the comments you've mentioned he has an insight. If you had the insight, it would lessen your need to leave the room late at night. Sounds like you're bending over backwards to accommodate him, while he can't even do dishes due to trauma. Why doesn't he give you his ensuite if he is going to demand you brush your teeth on his schedule only, and not being able to leave the room past midnight? Good lord. He shouldn't expect to split bills with roommates if he can't handle the basics of living with other humans. Trauma doesn't give anyone an excuse to act so incredibly entitled. Simple solution: go to the store and buy yourself a bike horn, and when you go to brush your teeth, use the bathroom or come out of your room to start honking the horn. Throw out a few curses or just start randomly yelling "I'm walking here." Since city noises don't disturb them, he shouldn't wake up. He's being unreasonable. If he had problems with people, he should have gotten his own place. He lives once shares, so he will have to get used to noises. cook, pee, brush teeth when you want. He should use sleeping earplugs, then it's on him not you to sort his trauma. What if you need to pee? Does he expect you to piss yourself? You share accommodation. You're not making any unreasonable noise. So did it actually take you a year from writing the headline to writing the post? LMAO, I changed the ages / friendship length / gender / names to throw people off, so that no one could possibly realize it was me. I'm 19. We have been friends since uni started 2 years ago. Guess I got caught lol. Suggest, or get him yourself, a white noise machine. It's great at covering up the low / soft inside noises that is triggering him. I'm a light sleeper, and it helps tune out some of my roommate's noise. Only the loud stuff gets through, and it sounds like you're already keeping it pretty quiet. Your roommate is also being totally unreasonable. As long as you're not making a ruckus, the onus is on him to come up with solutions that he can implement, or he just isn't cut out for living with other people. He can't decide to confine you to your room at night like you're a child. Stop scheduling your life around him. You don't need his permission to leave your room, and he doesn't have the right to dictate how or when you're allowed to use the apartment you're paying for. It's also not your job to manage his childhood trauma. Since he refused to look into solutions that might help him, I get the impression that he enjoys using it to exert control over you and get you to do his share of the chores. You need to put your foot down, stop coddling him, and stop letting him run your life. I dated a guy for a while who has diagnosed CPTSD and also has sleep issues regarding his early childhood trauma. Right from the first time it became apparent we would be staying over each other's homes, he told me about his issue, explained how he intended to deal with it. Earplugs, is it okay if he takes the batteries out of my loud clock? Once I've fallen asleep he will go sleep in another room, etc. Because he's a grown adult who got help for his shit. Grow up, Dan. Get some help for your ridiculous expectations. Telling you that you're not allowed to leave your room or use the bathroom at night is unacceptable. Tell him that you need to pee and brush your teeth at night, and if he hates it, he should live alone. Dan sounds like an R with control issues. You have been more than reasonable and have every right to leave your room and brush your teeth anytime you want. It's your home too. His trauma is his to deal with. Sounds like Dan can't live with roommates. That's his problem. F*** him. I can understand him, because I'm such a light sleeper. Footsteps will wake me up. However, it doesn't make sense to not try a white noise machine. Those helped. I would just buy one for him. Also, if noise is making its way into his room, can he insulate the door better? He needs to realize that he is being unreasonable here, and that it's his job alone to work past his trauma. One thought is he should get a box fan for his room and turn it on high while he sleeps. That'll block out a fair amount of noise. Do you pay rent? If you do, you are entitled to come and go whenever you please. You are clearly trying to be respectful, so that isn't the problem. It's his issues that he needs to overcome. If he can't, it may be in his best interest to find his own apartment living alone. Just saying.